situation, and then one of the kids bounced off of my solution, and the other kid didn't like either solution, so I said, what do you think? And he goes, I want the cars, and I go, and then I was empathetic towards him, and I go, you want the cars to, you need all the cars to play your game. And then, so the other boy said, you know what, I want to do the project.
Wow.
So he moved on, and the other kid got to play with all the cars.
That's a great example. And you know what, you might have been, like, some of us might have thought, wait, no, I'm gonna get them to share, but that was an effective solution.
Yeah.
He dropped it.
I tried to get them to share, but neither one didn't want to do it.
You know, what's interesting is it might not have been the one kid's goal. Like,
Yeah.
Who knows? All right. So if you have, if somebody in your group has one that you tried or that you didn't have a chance to flesh out, do that with one another, and then in the process, identify, if you see the behavior that you want to see, what the descriptive reinforcement, identify the behavior you want to see increased. So, you might need an example, huh? The behavior that you want to increase, and then, see it's up here, and then identify the words, if you were to see it, that you would use if you saw it demonstrated. So, in the section on collaborative goal setting, there are 6 steps, and what you did was you wrote out the answers to each of the steps. You first described the problem, and then at each step you identified everyone's concerns, everyone's goals, and then kind of came up with a strategy for maybe some potential solutions. And so, if you didn't this week, then next week try it. If you have an opportunity to actually try it. And what I want to do is get you really clear about the behavior that you're looking to see. You may not know what it is, but just imagine if it was any of them and how you would reinforce that, what you would say. So, let's see here. And you didn't have that one. That's a little too hard to teach the whole thing. So what you could do is well, it's a little too hard to shoot. Did you see the video of it?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna confuse you. So think of a situation, a challenging situation. It could be, it doesn't have to be important. And then simply write out what your goal would be. And like, what would you like to have happen? And then identify the specific behaviors. And then maybe words that you would use if you saw that demonstrated. Anybody else? Any questions or help?
Tomorrow. I have jury duty tomorrow.
I've always wanted to go, actually.
I don't.
I've never had jury duty.
I have to call.
I have one. They get me every year, but it uses.
I have jury duty tomorrow.
Do civic duty. Bring about America. If you don't go, then
Please
you're not
have
allowed
empathy
to go.
towards me. I don't want to go. No.
But sometimes your number doesn't get called.
Yeah, but it's a little more safe. Usually when you're called to
When I
Mariposa
got
City.
there, I'll see my job.
Ah,
It's like an excuse.
Can you ask, Jim asked me that like 10 hours
My brother's a
ago.
judge.
So true.
And I say, if you know anybody.
I tried to look really
Federal
good.
judge.
Perfect, you're out. I went to court yesterday and they tested my case in school. I was there all day and then I never testified.
What time is it?
Quarter to
Everybody
five.
just takes off. Oh, we have 20 minutes. All right.
And this is for
I
the
did
one
not
who
want to get off the
like,
couch this afternoon.
this is my friend.
Oh, yeah.
So, say something gets
Such a
knocked down,
banana.
like screams and would carry on.
Yes.
So, let's say we went through all this and got this in place. So, although you were feeling upset that your structure was knocked down, you asked me for help and didn't hurt anybody else or didn't throw something or.
Yeah, the thing we want to reinforce. Think about the thing you want to reinforce. In this case, you'd want to
I want him to
reinforce.
talk. rather
You
than
want
to-
him to think ahead before it gets to a high level of intensity.
Right, exactly. Right.
And to ask for help.
Right.
I say just ask for help.
Exactly right.
That's about, if
Let's
with an
just leave it
impulsive
there.
kid, that's about all they can
Okay.
do, is just ask.
And
They
you
have
ask
to
for
do
help.
something. Or for
That's where we
them.
are, that's our goal right now.
Yeah, it's just to ask you for help. before it gets, and so that there's some way for him to know, like, something that happens that would be.
And that was the thing, you want him to hear.
Yeah, like almost like, if he knows he's going to the block station, ask for help beforehand to plan it out. Like, that would be a win. It's before it's even happened.
Right.
Because it slows him down, he's thinking.
Right, before he goes over there.
Yeah, before he's, or right when he gets there, to plan it out. Let's plan it out so we'll make
what
sure.
happens if, kind of thing, are you gonna say that's what
I think that
if there's anything that,
so that the kids around him, that he can articulate what's important. Okay, so he gets upset when you tell him it's time to clean up, or when
somebody, oh no, this was a cleanup one, this is when he wanted to save it, right?
So maybe it's another teacher, I'd say remind me, before, when you're getting ready to go to block, let's talk about it ahead of time.
Right, so when you're done building, before we have to go, we're gonna make a plan for what we're gonna do with it, like to save it or take it.
Yeah, I'd even do it, so it's, okay, you're trying to get him to think ahead, I do it right when he gets to the block station, and then right when he's finished, and then again, like multiple check-in points, because you wanna stop him,
Remind him
thinking, he's thinking.
He doesn't go get escalated.
Yeah, yeah, and remember with those kids, warnings often have the opposite effect,
No, I mean, I'm not.
because he's gonna go deeper in.
What do you mean?
Well, if you could be like 5 minutes,
Oh,
what
no,
we
no,
usually
no.
do in
Oh,
5
no.
minutes is like,
Oh.
he builds more,
Wait,
so.
I was thinking warning, like not warning, but like when we're done, when we're finished, come get one of us so that we can help you, you know what I mean? We can take a picture of it or we can move it over.
Yes,
Like
yes.
making that plan.
And then I'd love every time he went to the block station to check in to see if the plan is, like, it's not really gonna change, but how did it go last time?
Right.
So you have like a, it reminds him, oh, we're back in this situation again.
Right.
Because each time he gets in there, I want him thinking before he even
Remember we
enters.
did yesterday? Remember how like that kind of thing? Like to get him to reflect
Say
back
when
on?
you go to the, but let's come up with a plan for how you would like to, for us to handle when it's time to clean out your blocks. And it might change, but it doesn't even matter if it does, it's just,
No,
this is the
it's
way that he
thinking.
checks in to think, oh, today I want you to take the picture. Today I don't care if you take the picture.
Right.
It's like step 6, which is touching back, but you're actually doing it later at the next time that happens.
It's like a safety for them built in that you're
Yes,
there.
and you too, like he knows when he
Yeah.
steps in, his mind shifts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened last time, like he's recalling it right away as opposed to right at the end.
Yeah. I would like to see him able to do that because I think at this point he's so explosive
Yeah.
that he's socially so effective right now because they're not, other children don't want to be with him.
Yeah.
You know, we've hit that point.
Yeah.
So we're trying to
Yeah,
work
that's
on
why,
social.
that's why other kids hearing you do it with him is gonna help too.
Right.
To help them to be more tolerant of him, like they're
Right,
not
or
gonna be
maybe
scared.
say to him, go tell, you know, the teacher that we need to clean up, so you need help. Like if they hear that there's
Right,
a plan,
that's,
they may
that's,
be able to
the-
remind you
yeah,
as
I
well.
would do it each time in the beginning, cause you're not necessarily the person in there all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back and we're gonna try again this year and see if we
So I'll be
can
able
figure
to see
something
him
out.
next year?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm already gonna be in.
Yeah, he's with he's gonna be joining this class, he's gonna have an OT.
So you all look like you're,
There's an OT
like,
involved, who's
little
very
lost.
much self-regulation.
Lost?
She was at show run.
Okay, so the main point of this was to go back to your personal example that you were working on. And I'm not sure that people, did everybody, okay. Did you all try your example? You did. Yes? So anybody want to share your example, successes, challenges? Maybe this would be an opportunity for that. Yeah.
I call my daughter, I wish you could have some time with them, one-on-one,
Uh-huh.
with these 2 boys, because they have challenging behaviors.
Yeah.
So they go to the synagogue with their parents. They call it a kiddush. It's like refreshments after the service. So those 2 boys are running around the room. The little one, he's 4, he's climbing on a stack of chairs. He's making noise like at the top of his lungs, and he keeps looking at my daughter to see if, you know, she notices. See? So that's the behavior. So what else do you want to know?
No, okay, so this was your so, okay, all right, so you've got a lot of things that you're probably trying to work on, because one is, I guess the question I would be wrestling with is, who's the person that is that you wanna do the problem solving with, cause you probably wanna do it with her, and you probably wanna do it
Oh
with
my
kids
gosh,
too. Alright, so forget her.
yeah, because I tell her things that goes in one ear and out the other,
Alright,
no.
so this is a real challenge because
Oh, yeah.
I want you to have the ability to help without I'm not thinking that she's gonna be on your same page, I don't know, but there might be different goals here. She might have a different like value or goal, like that is less important to her, so that's an obstacle. So,
I'm just saying, she's embarrassed because they should know how to behave in public. I mean, like, when I take them to services, that's not gonna happen. That's totally not gonna, that's not happening. But I'm saying, she's not good at disciplining them, you know. But number one, I would be with either, the husband should be with one of the kids and she should be with the other one, or let them go play outside, or they gotta learn how to behave.
so let's take one child at a
Okay,
time.
let's take
I
the
think
younger
let's,
one.
okay. The younger one, you say?
Yeah, let's take the 4-year-old.
Okay, take the 4-year-old. Alright, so, your goal would be, and make it situation specific, because I'm sure your general goal would be more control. But at Kiddish,
Right.
that, he does what? So, right?
Well, I don't know the positive thing, he's supposed to not be loud, he's supposed,
So remember,
Tony?
remember with the, we haven't done the inductive discipline, which is the next one, which you probably might need in this case. Yes,
I
we
mean, he's
will.
supposed to know what he's, you know, like
Okay,
the
but what do you
self-control.
want? What is
I
your,
want
okay,
him
what's
to
your
be-
goal?
The goal is that he, and his brother, but he should have, he's very, I'm sidetracking a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not a doctor, but I think both of them have ADHD.
Uh-huh.
And I read or heard that, their behavior is like, could be like behind. They're, you know, I mean, they're, everything is delayed. It's delayed. So like, I mean, he's very babyish and very, and not,
So you know what,
very
I think that, okay, so you have several concerns.
you think, but I mean, when he goes
And
to,
it's okay.
when he goes to this Kiddish,
Yeah.
she expects, I mean, the goal is that he's not acting like that, like he should be respectful. There you go.
And so
Thank
is
you.
your goal though that, okay, so developmentally a 4-year-old that has lagging skills like that, probably realistically can't sit that whole time.
Right.
So I think your goal is that, I'm guessing, my goal would be that he could recognize and read the situation and make an effort to be respectful, meaning either sit down in a place or for a certain amount of time, or ask to go outside,
Right,
or, you know, like, so the goal, the goal would be that at Kiddish,
yes,
he's able to stay in one place, stay next to his mom.
well, he should not have to stay next to his mom.
Okay.
He should, you know,
See, I think we need to work on clarifying the goal. I'm not sure what the goal is. I'm going
the
to,
goal is his behavior should not be,
it's gotta be positive.
he should not be wild,
Okay, so that's your concern, is that he's wild. So remember, we start with your
out of
concerns,
control.
and then we go to what you want. So, but really specifically, what does that look like during Kiddish? Yeah.
I think you want him to not be disruptive to others.
Right,
That's
absolutely.
not that he's not being
Acceptable.
respectful to a service or to a particular
No.
person. It's that you want
Okay.
him to not be disruptive to other people who are trying to talk, or trying just to relax, or
Okay.
whatever.
Thank you.
So, so then what that looks like is that he does what? When he feels like he wants to run around, or we have to be really clear and specific about what we want. What do we want him to do? When he has a question, you'd like him to say, excuse me, please. When he wants to run around, he may ask if he can go outside. He wants to ask if he can go outside, or he needs to sit. Like, I think really specific things, all with the goal of not being disruptive, but then you have to have in the back of your mind, what are the things that happen that leads to his being disruptive? So, he wants to run around, he runs. When he's feeling like he wants to run around, I would like it if you'd ask to go outside, or, I think we need inductive discipline for this one. I'm not sure this is a collaborative goal setting scenario with him,
Right,
but
you have to talk.
But part of the next lesson we're gonna learn is reframing whatever the rule or expectation is, and usually that's I don't do this, into something you want him to do that's concrete. And I think that's what we're missing here, that we'll work on it. So think about, we started, really specific behaviors you want him to demonstrate when he's running around. Instead of running, I would like it if you would ask to go outside, or sit down in the chair. Like, you may sit down in the chair or ask to go outside. Like, if he can't go outside, then he didn't go all wild.
So go down the hall or go in a room where he can play and make that noise.
Right, that he leaves, but
I wonder if it would be, at that age, a better goal to just focus on safety. Because, you know, like, you're running, climbing on chairs, like, there's a lot of behaviors in there that sound like they could be unsafe.
Honestly, I'm not that worried about his safety. I think I think the goal is for the adults and the people around him to have a space where they don't feel like this kid is running around and being disruptive.
Can a child that age know what's disruptive and
That's
what's
what
not?
I mean. That's what I mean. We're missing one.
There's something not detailed enough for him,
Yeah,
right?
it's got to be really specific, and there are many problems.
Right.
He's
The older
running-
child be also,
Yeah.
even before,
What did you say?
the older child,
Couldn't
About
even.
him?
shouldn't he be, shouldn't you work with him first, because the younger one doesn't
Copies
see
what-
it.
He copies what the older one does.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. So we've identified a problem, and ideally you would work with a 4-year-old to
You know what, I'm
strategize.
sorry, he's not 4, he's 5.
Oh, whatever.
Well,
So ideally, you would be able, and I think you could totally have this conversation, like take the mom out of it for a minute with him but what I wanna do with you is, we'll probably need some inductive discipline pieces, is to be able to pull out why for you the disruptiveness and being, not running around and stuff like that. Why is it important to you that he is able to what? Like, I think like Melissa's saying, I want it to be really specific, but I want your personal message to come out.
well, it's not me really, it's my daughter.
Well, it's you too.
Well, I'm telling you, when I take him to my
Oh,
synagogue.
see, that's what I thought. See,
No,
this is probably,
no. See me next week, I'm gonna have them for 6 days.
so you don't have that problem with him. See, so the problem is with her, and the collaborative goal setting needs to
Make
be
her read
to
them.
her directly.
Yes.
Then you can do the collaborative goal setting with her. I mean, and I think this is a bigger discussion that you can use a lot of these so that you feel heard and that she feels heard, and ultimately you both have your goals down. And right now there's solutions on the table, like the solution is he's gotta do this, this, and this. That's a solution. But the goal, I'm not sure what your goal is,
I
really.
mean, it's the same thing she told me. I just asked her for, an example. But when they go to the library, he knows he's supposed to be quiet. So he's there and making
You're
all
upset
this
with the way
noise.
she's parenting them or not
Oh, my
parenting them.
God.
And see, that's a bigger issue.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
is,
yes.
that's a big
Oh, yes.
issue. And so, right, that's a bigger issue, and I don't think that it's with, I mean, it is with the boys, but hold that, because that would take a lot more.
Oh, my
See, I don't think you're ready to step into her shoes, because you're worried. You're really worried about these kids and
I am.
her, and
I
so,
am.
And
I
so,
know the solution.
yeah, so we have to think about this more, because I think there are reasons that I'd love to be able to help you pull out, so it doesn't flare her defenses. And that'll just take more discussion.
Sometimes people who have, like, my one daughter was very, very active, and I remember, you know, being like, I know that at some point, I try not to be judgmental, but I'm sure that I saw other children at one point in my life and thought, why are they doing that?
Yes.
And then when I had my own, who really just had really was very hyper,
Yeah.
when she was
Right,
little,
that's what I'm saying.
but I was so tired that sometimes we would go
Yeah.
somewhere and she would just run around.
Right.
Because, like, I mean, it might be, she might need to hear that, like, wow, this must be hard for you conversation, because they're boys and they're active, and, because I know, like, I remember my brother, before he had children, and his wife were very sure to tell me what I was doing wrong all the time. And then they had a set of twins, and one was very active, and they came back to me eventually and said, I get it, which was wonderful. But I couldn't stop her from being that child. So we had obstacle courses outside of restaurants that I planned in advance. You know, so we could run obstacle courses before we went in to sit. And even at like holiday dinners, we would have like a 4-course dinner for Rosh Hashanah or something, and I would tell my daughter in her ear, you have 10 minutes to run and come back, because they expected her to sit through this whole thing, and there was no way that was happening. But like, I was exhausted, so there was definitely times where we went somewhere and it was safe and it was closed doors, and she just went for it, and I let her do it because I had to,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
It's just like
she's probably worn out also, which is part of the parenting
Oh, my
piece that
gosh.
comes into it.
Yeah, to really get the change, it's
Gotta go deeper.
I would love to help you pull out your personal message, but the real, so that it doesn't flare our defenses, but the other thing is I don't know that you're too afraid and upset to step into her shoes, because that's where I think the change will happen. Yeah, see, she's not.
I don't wanna be in her shoes.
Well,
No.
Yeah. Okay, so for next session, I'm gonna send you, there's the assignments. There's the Bronson article is called How Not to Talk to Your Kids. It's just, I'm gonna send them to you. Everything will come from Allison. As well as this video is called The Science of Character. It's the same group that has this great video called The Making of a Mensch. But what I really like about it is that it helps identify character strengths. It's a short video. It'll make you feel really good. And I think it dovetails very nicely into this discussion on descriptive reinforcement. She actually talks about Carol Dweck and how everybody has certain strengths and that are, character strengths. And that what we want to do is identify them and then just like basically use descriptive reinforcement to bring them out. And the research on them and the effect on adults and kids is really profound. But I think you'll find it to me, it gives you a guide for what are our values, what are the things that we're trying to increase in certain kids, and what are their natural gifts, like playing to their strengths. And you can think of yourself. And there are neat things for teachers, because you can print out things for students in your class too. So I'm just gonna hand that out. Sorry. I'm gonna send you that link to that short video, and this is just a sheet that I pulled off the website of the character strengths, and here's the description of each. And the idea is to read them and think about yourself and your own strengths. Think of your top strengths.
And can I just remind everybody that the first day that we have the class, and give us a schedule of assignments, so all of those are right here.
Thank you.
So, email
That's
aside,
really good to reiterate.
it's
You
right
have them
there
all.
in your folder. But I'll email them to her. That's all.
We watched that.
Just what I did.
Yeah, the video, we watched that video Reagan in class, so done.
Yes, but it's also all right here. Watch. Trevor Reagan. Yeah. But you can also, so you can type it
Did
into your
everybody
browser.
sign it, the sign-in sheet?
You just type it.
Oh, and then
Browser.
that. Right.
But yes, I'm.
Lane and Drake and Lisdale?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Working sessions.